Hi, this is Jodie from Poppywinkle, and this week I took a deep dive trying to learn everything I could about tabs. These are some of the ones I made over this past week. All of these yummy, yummy tabs. And I'm going to show you how I used them in all sorts of different ways. And at the end, I'm going to do a little giveaway. So stay tuned. So the first way I like to use tabs is kind of the traditional way. You put them in and they tell you what is being held in that particular area. So in my ephemera storage journal, I put all the pink ephemera in the pink section, the red in the red section. So these are functional tabs. I used a heavy duty cardstock, and it was pretty dark. So like if I wrote on there with a pencil, you'd hardly see it. If I wrote on there with a black marker, you'd probably see it. But just to make sure you could really see it, I put on a lightish color. I just glued on a lightish color label. So that way they're just fully functional. You can totally see what you've got, where those tabs are. And then there's also tabs that are more decorative. So these right here's a decorative tab. You don't really need a tab on the top of a tag like this. So I would call that more of a decorative tab. Here's another kind. I just took a circle. If you don't have those little pretty cutouts, you can just use a circle. And I put a circle on each side. So that's like a tab. I also use these whale tail ones. I like to use those as a hinge. So here I put one on this side, or half of it on this side and half of it on this side. And that let me add a page. So the tabs act as a page holder or a hinge. And I also used a tab up here because when you're just leafing through, you don't necessarily know to open this, so that a little tab up there gives you the indication, oh, I better touch that and see what happens. So those are some more functional ways to use tabs. This was just a kind of a fat rectangle that I folded in half. So another easy way to make a tab. It was a little bit of a collage. And so there it is on the back, and I just glued it to the page on either side. So there's a tab right there. And I think that's all in this book. So this is a page from a journal I'm making. It's not a full journal, obviously. And I used, again, a tab as a hinge, and I put one on the bottom too, so it's a super strong hinge. So that's a flip belly band with tab as a hinge. And I liked the circle, 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 and so I wanted to add a pretty circle here. And so I made this one up. It's got a little dangle. This one's pretty much decorative. You know, it's not telling you anything. But what I did is I took two circles and I embossed them, and two rectangles. And I'll show you how I made it. All I did was I put some glue down. I love this glue. It's got a tiny little tip, but it also has a fat tip, and you can stand it up. So I like this one. And it's sort of like rubber cement. It doesn't give you a lot of wrinkles. and it glues really fast. It glues well. Let's see here. So anyway, all I did was I glued the circle to the rectangle. Circle to the rectangle. And then I did that again on the other side. Glue the other circle to the other rectangle, and then I just put a little glue in here in between, and then the rest of this is open, so whenever you want to use it as a tab, you can do that. So that's how I did that, and then I inked over it so the embossing showed. So there's a tab that anybody can make. And if you're doing, oh, here's one more. Another little dangle. This one was just a rectangle. And again, I embossed it. I don't think you can see it. It's too dark. And I just put a little eyelet there. And I just cut off the edge so the eyelet, so the little dangle dangles free. So another kind that anybody can make, decorative. And if you are making a journal and you want to have tabs, you need to think about your cover. So on this one, I wanted the cover to cover my tabs. I didn't want them sticking out just because I use this thing all the time and I didn't want it to get all banged up. So when you're making your journal, you need to think, do you want your tabs to be sticking out? Which with the decorative ones, most people do. So then you make your cover not come all the way over. Or do you want them to be totally covered by your cover like this? So just think ahead. Think ahead about tabs and if you're going to use them, and if so, how you want them to appear. And then here's another page out of the journal. Now here's a functional tab because it tells you to look. So this is, you would just think it's a belly band, except you see this tab here and you say, well, what's that? And then you pull it out and you have another journaling spot there. So this is a functional tab because it lets you know there's more to be had. And then here is a tab that I made out of vellum. This is pretty cool. And you can see through it because it's vellum. And the label, it's kind of like those ones you used in school. So this is a functional one, or it can be decorative, because you can just stick whatever label you want inside there, in between the two pieces. And this is what that tab looked like. Just vellum. And then I folded it in half, and I just left this part open. I didn't glue it. I only glued it down the bottom part, on the part that hit the page. And then this, one more tab, is a paperclip tab. So there's a paperclip in there, and I covered both sides of it, but left it open so it can still function as a paperclip. And so that's a removable tab, just for wherever you want a little fun dangle. So those are my tab ideas. And these whale tail tabs, apparently they used to have a punch, and the punch is no longer made anymore. And I saw them on eBay for $150 plus shipping, which is just outrageous. I think that's a terrible thing for somebody to do. Bad karma. And of course, the only way to get rid of bad karma is with good karma. So I made all of these yummy tabs with my Cricut, lots and lots and lots, and I can make tons more. But I am going to send them to whoever of my subscribers wants them. If you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope And just tell me you want some tabs. If you have a preference, tell me what kind you like. Just send it to me and I'll fill up that envelope and I'll send you some tabs. So, and if somebody's watching this in the future and my address is no longer there, that just means I ran out of good karma. All right, so thanks for watching. I hope you got some good ideas and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.